What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Countdown. My name is Ian Farmer, and thank you for listening. As always, check out topboyblog.com and check out the Instagram page CTN Sports for all new sports content and news every single day. As always, with my co-host Evan Latimer,
Yes,
you know what
sir.
to do.
Yes, sir. We got a special episode coming today. It's gonna be a fire episode. That's all I gotta say.
NFL playoff predictions. I can't wait for this episode. I've been waiting on this episode for a long time, and it's going to be
Me too.
interesting to see who wins your Super Bowl, who wins my Super Bowl. But guys, as always, don't forget the CTN Tribune, issue 29 weeks of the CTN Tribune. It comes Friday at midnight, so please check that out. And like I said, Top Boy blog, articles every single day. Evan, let's hop into it. We're going to go
Yes,
to our first
sir.
game. Browns going to Houston. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to ask you the question that I think it's the question of the room when it comes to this game right now. And that game is CJ Stroud going to be enough? The Browns defense better than Houston's.
For sure.
Browns have better offensive weapons than Houston.
I mean,
Kevin Stefanski probably have better coaching than
oh yeah,
Houston.
for
But the
sure.
one thing Houston has, as good as Joe Flacco has played, I think they got the quarterback that can win
For
them this
sure.
game.
Yeah, I definitely think C.J. Stroud's capable of winning this game. I mean, you look back at his college football days. I mean, he was
Yeah.
he was a good quarterback in like intense moments. I mean, he did never really get the job done against Michigan, but I feel like that's probably motivated him enough to step his game up to the next level and just keep working. So I definitely feel like CJ Stroud can definitely win this game for the Texans. I mean, we see how he's playing all
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, I agree. And a lot of people are going Cleveland in this game. Evan, who do you have?
I'm going to go. Well, at first I went with the Browns, but I had a little change of heart this morning. I was like, man, I think Houston's going to do it. So I'm going to go with Houston.
I'm going to take the Houston Texans to beat the Cleveland Browns. And a lot of people are looking back right now at the game earlier in the regular season where the Browns beat the Texans 36-22. Stroud didn't play that game. He's going to play this game. It's all Houston in this one, in my opinion. And by the way, we're going to do AFC games first. So let's go ahead and let's go. I'm going to go ahead and skip Steelers going to Buffalo.
For
Steelers going to
sure.
Buffalo. Before we get started with this, Evan is a Steelers fan, so everything has to be taken with a grain of salt, and I mean everything. I'm going to keep it short and simple on this one for me. I like Pittsburgh. If Pittsburgh won this game, I would be happy. Like, I'd be like, good for you guys. Like, that's awesome. That's awesome. But as good as Mason Rudolph has played, he hasn't played the playoff game yet this year. I'm not saying he's going to play bad. I just don't know. That's not a guarantee
For
that he's going
sure.
to play good by any means. Buffalo has been really hot lately. A 7 has never beat a 2. I'm going Buffalo by a couple touchdowns.
I'm gonna go with Buffalo as well. Although I think the Steelers can definitely make it interesting.
I think they
Um,
can. They will.
I think it's possible that we could even win the game, but it also depends on how Josh Allen plays. Like
Yeah.
you said, the Bills have been hot, and I feel like how the Bills do determines on how Josh Allen plays.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. Let's go to our last AFC game of the wild card. That is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Miami Dolphins.
For
Evan,
sure.
I'm going to let you take this one.
Um, I know a lot of people are probably going to be thinking the Chiefs are going to grab this W, but I don't really like what I've seen from the Chiefs this season. Although even when they're not really good, they usually show up for the playoffs. But I think this year might be a little different. I think they're going to struggle this year. So I'm gonna go with Miami in this one.
Wow. Wow. Now, that is the difference in you and me because I'm not giving Miami much of a chance to win this game.
Yeah, I know because you're always sucking on Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Well, 3 Super Bowl appearances in 4 years, still 11-6, has had a lot of good games this year. I really don't see the Chiefs losing the wild card at home. It's going to be -2 degrees. I'm going Kansas City 31-16.
That's tough.
Yeah, there's no way Miami's going to win that game.
I think
Miami's
they will
never
for
played
sure.
in cold weather like that. Mahomes has never lost in the wild card. I don't think he ever will.
Oh yeah, he will for sure.
I don't think he will. Eagles, Buccaneers. This is one of the more interesting games of the week for me. I'm going to take this one. This is tough because it's in Tampa Bay, and Baker Mayfield's played pretty good this year. And the Eagles have been struggling. The Eagles can't beat anybody right now. The question is, when it comes to the playoffs, can the injured Eagles get past the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? That is the question right now. What do you think?
I think they can. I mean, realistically, the NFC South sucks. So
Yeah.
I mean,
The
I mean,
NFC South, it's consistent.
I mean, the Buccaneers aren't that good.
No.
So I mean, even
Good
with
defense.
how bad, they do have a good defense. Even with how bad the Eagles have been playing and the injuries they've sustained, I think they'll still be able to cruise past Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Tom Brady leaves the Buccaneers. Tampa Bay's in the playoffs. That's huge. That's huge. But I'm gonna go Philadelphia here. I just think Philadelphia is the better team all around. Tampa Bay may not beat them at any position on the field. Like literally. I'm
For sure.
going Philadelphia. Let's go ahead and let's go to the Cowboys. They're gonna host the Green Bay Packers. What are your thoughts on this? We haven't talked about this game.
I mean,
Jordan Love, man, he's gonna start next year.
for
What a
sure,
good season!
for sure.
What a
I
good
mean,
season.
I think that the Packers do have a chance to beat the Cowboys with Jordan Love, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Cowboys are going to be too much for them. Although I do think the Packers are going to put up a dogfight for sure.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a lot closer than what people are thinking.
Right, I'm gonna take the Cowboys. I'm gonna go 34-17. But a good game for the Packers, and shout out to them for getting to the playoffs. Of
For
course,
sure.
let's go to our last NFC wildcard game: the Lions taking on the Rams.
Yes, sir.
This is the game everyone's picking as an upset. Matthew Stafford's back in the playoffs. He knows how to play in the playoffs. They're all saying the Rams are gonna get it, and I think it's probably my favorite game of the week.
Yeah, for
besides
sure.
maybe a couple of the AFC ones. However, I'm going Detroit in this.
Yes, sir.
I'm going Detroit. You are too, correct?
I'm going with Detroit as
The
well.
Lions just had a really good season. I can't see him losing to a banged up, kind of mid defense now Rams team. I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see it either. Although I think they are gonna strike early. I think that the Rams are gonna keep it close early, but then the Lions are gonna run away with it in the end.
Right. So let's move on to the divisional rounds. Evan, what is your AFC matchups looking like?
All right. So my AFC matchups, I have the Texans versus the Bills and the Dolphins versus the Ravens.
I have the Chiefs versus the Bills and the Texans versus the Ravens.
All right.
Let's start with the first game on our schedule here. Mine is Kansas City versus Buffalo. Now, this game is a rematch of a couple years ago. It's one of the best playoff games ever. And I'm going Buffalo. I think Buffalo's going to have a big year. Kansas City and Mahomes, I mean, they've done their thing. Still in the playoffs as the 3 seed. Not a bad team by any means. They're here. But Buffalo's going to get that one. Your first game.
My first game is the Texans and Bills. But
right.
I think Houston's going to put up a fight, but I think Josh Allen and Buffalo is going to be too much for them to handle.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Mine is Texans and Ravens. I'm going to go Baltimore. Houston's had an amazing season, but Baltimore's the hottest, best team in the NFL right now. I'm going Baltimore and Buffalo to the AFC Championship game.
I like that. So my next matchup is the Dolphins versus the Ravens. I think that the Dolphins will put up a little fight, but I think the Ravens are too hot right now, and
You think the Dolphins gonna put up a little fight?
a little fight. They'll have a slight fight.
A little
Because
fight.
I think the Ravens.
You mean maybe like a touchdown, a field goal, maybe a
Yeah,
couple field goals?
maybe, yeah. And then the Ravens are going to steamroll them after that. I mean, I don't think it's really going to be close.
Yeah. Honestly, everyone says the Dolphins have the fastest offense in the NFL. I think it's Baltimore.
Nah, definitely the Dolphins.
Now, I think it's Baltimore. I think Baltimore has the faster offense, and I think that's going to be the key to the game. NFC. My NFC matchups are the Detroit Lions going to Dallas and the Eagles going to the 49ers in the NFC.
I have the same.
Rematch. The same. Oh,
the same.
Hey, let's start with Lions and Cowboys. I'm going to ask you a question about this one. Do the Lions get revenge?
I think they do. That's why I picked them, actually. I was going to go with Dallas at first, but I was like, no. I mean, obviously we all saw what happened to the Lions in the regular season matchup. I feel like they kind of got robbed, and I think that's going to give them fuel to the fire and lead them past Dallas.
You know, I was thinking about this game, and
it's tough.
It's a tough one to predict because
Tough.
I'm always the type to go with the team who lost it in the previous matchup.
Right.
I love that's a lot of times that's how it is in the same season.
For sure.
In the same season, and at first I went Detroit, but man, as good as a year as the Lions had, I know the Lions have never really had a year like this. Man, has Dallas had a year. And they have played really well. And Dak Prescott has been in the MVP conversation.
Facts.
It's too big of a year. It's too big of a year for them to lose here.
Yeah, is anyone
think about what they're going to say if this Dallas team loses in this divisional round, Evan.
Yeah,
divisional round. I'm going Dallas.
Yeah, something that I don't know. Is anyone on the Lions going to be able to stop CeeDee Lamb? Because he's been playing some amazing football.
Johnson, I mean, hey.
I mean, maybe.
Let's go to the NFC Championship rematch. The Eagles go to the Niners, and that's the same one you have.
For sure.
Evan, this is such a tough matchup.
Dude, tough matchup.
Philadelphia could come right in there and win it again in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
But San Francisco, outside of maybe Baltimore, has been the best team all year long. Early in the year, they were the best team. And end of the year, it was the Ravens. The 49ers have had such a good year. I'm going to take the 49ers to do kind of what the Eagles did to them last year. I think they're going to kind of blow them out.
I mean, I think so too, but I don't think this game is going to be a very high scoring game. I think it's going to be a more defensive game, and I think that San Francisco's defense help wins them this game.
Yeah, for sure. Eagles defense lines right up with them, but just
for sure. Injured.
Really,
injured.
Yeah. So, what is your AFC championship?
Okay, so my AFC championship is Buffalo and the Ravens.
That is mine, Buffalo and the Ravens. So, the question is, who do we have going to the Super Bowl? Because it's going to be one of these two teams.
For
it's
sure.
It's going to be Buffalo or it's going to be Baltimore. Here's my thing. This is the farthest Lamar Jackson has ever made it. Josh Allen has made it here once. And now he's back. What is your thoughts on it? What do you think? How do you think this game is going to be? Because they played a couple years ago and Buffalo ran away with it.
For sure. I mean, definitely something that's going to play a factor in it is this is Lamar's first time here. Josh Allen, we all know he's been here before.
Right.
I think that's going to play a little bit of an impact, but I think despite that, Baltimore is going to be able to slightly win. I think it's going to be a tough game. I really think it's going to be close, but I think Baltimore barely squeezes through and advances to the Super Bowl.
Lamar Jackson and the Ravens advancing into Evan's Super Bowl. Well, that's too bad because I'm going Buffalo, baby. The Bills are going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills, all year long. All year long, we've all been saying, oh, they're 5-5, man. They're not even going to make the playoffs. Literally, Sunday, they had a chance to not make the playoffs.
Facts.
And now they're the second seed in the AFC. They are given such a golden opportunity. Shout out to Lamar and the Ravens. Such an amazing year. Buffalo to the Super Bowl. So your NFC Championship rematch is the Lions and the Niners.
The Lions and the Niners.
Mine is the Cowboys and the Niners rematch of a divisional round matchup last year. In the preseason, my championship, my Super Bowl, my preseason Super Bowl pick was Cowboys Chiefs. And I hate to say that neither of those two teams are going to be in my Super Bowl because I'm going with the 49ers to return back to the Super Bowl for the first time since 2019. Evan, your thoughts on your game?
As good of a season as Detroit's had, I really don't think they're going to be able to do much to San Francisco in this matchup. I think the 49ers defense and offense is going to be too much for Detroit. And
I have a hot take about
they
that game
advance
if
to
it
the Super
does
Bowl.
happen. I think
All right, what's
Detroit
your
leads
take?
the whole game.
You think
till the
so?
fourth quarter. I think
Till the
Detroit
fourth
leads the whole
quarter?
game. I think slow start for the Niners.
Fair.
In
I think
this
that
game
could be
too.
possible.
In the Cowboys game too. I think they're gonna have a slow start. So your Super Bowl is Ravens Niners. Mine
Yes,
is
sir.
Buffalo San Francisco. That's a rematch of the Super Bowl when the lights went out.
For sure.
Yeah. No Ray Lewis no more. No Joe Flacco.
Ray Lewis. I got a Ray
I mean,
Lewis
Joe Flacco
signed
could be in
jersey.
the
It's
Super
sitting in
Bowl.
my room.
Huh?
Like I said, I got that Ray Lewis signed jersey. It's sitting in my room.
Irrelevant, but we're gonna get back to the Super Bowl, and and this is where we're gonna predict the Super Bowl game. All right. So, Evan, let's keep it short and simple because we're gonna do a live stream for the Super Bowl. We're gonna do a live stream for the Super Bowl, and we're gonna make our picks live. But it's not guaranteed. These are predictions. Niners, Buffalo. Here's my thing. Buffalo defense railed up right now. They not really. Then some of us they got some defensive pieces injured. Buffalo, first time ever having a run game with a valid run game with James Cook. Devin Singletary, he's not good. He's all right. The thing about it is the Niners have every little thing. Outside of quarterback, is Buffalo better at anything, any position of San Francisco's? Kyle Shanahan's better than Sean McDermott.
Probably wide receiver, at least one.
No, I disagree.
No, I mean wide
Stephon
receiver.
Diggs is the.
But he's better than any wide receiver on San Francisco. Is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
I just mean him by himself, not the Buffalo.
Deebo Samuel a couple years ago, I think could have been in the argument.
Oh, for sure.
All right. I'm going to keep it simple. This is such a big moment. Josh Allen, shout out for getting here. The San Francisco 49ers get revenge, and they win the Super Bowl.
Fair enough.
Evan, prediction.
All right. So I think the Ravens and the 49ers are going to be a dogfight rematch of the regular season where Baltimore kind of ran away with it a little bit, but then San Francisco started pulling back. But I think Baltimore is going to be too much for them again. I think Lamar and the Ravens win their first Super Bowl.
No way.
Yes, sir.
Wow. That threw me completely off guard.
Yes,
too much for San Francisco's defense. I love Lamar, but
I don't think
they kind of too much.
They kind of shredded them in the first game.
True.
I think they can do it again.
Super Bowl is on a different stage, though.
Not for sure, but
Baltimore doesn't have the defense.
I feel Baltimore's defense is really good, though.
It is
really good.
I think San Francisco has the best receiving core in the league too.
Yeah, for sure.
Debo, Ayuk, and Kittle. So
for sure.
Besides quarterback, where's the Ravens better? They're not better on defense. They're a good defensive team. They don't have better weapons. They don't have a better run game. McCaffrey's the best.
But
coach is arguable. I'd probably say Shanahan.
Nah, I'd go with Harbaugh.
But guys, that is going to do it all for our NFL playoff predictions. The San Francisco 49ers win my Super Bowl. Baltimore Ravens win his Super Bowl. And who knows? They could play each other. So
for sure.
Just going to have to stay tuned on that. But NFL content coming for the next few weeks up until the Super Bowl. We love you guys. And until next time, bye. Love you, bro.
Yes, sir. Love you too, my boy. Episode still